Hello, YouTube land. This is Brenton Sawin coming to you from Lexington, Kentucky, the Bluegrass State. Before we get started, if anyone out there has a story they'd like to share on the show, you can contact me at brentonsawin@gmail.com, and I'll leave my email in the description. If you want to contribute to help with the show, you can go to PayPal me link in the description and contribute there, and I appreciate it. And I'll make a separate video on the fundraiser thing that we had and update you so that we don't have, because these videos a lot of times will be seen for years, and it'd be superfluous kind of information if I go to explaining all that here on this show. So I'll make a separate video updating everybody. Today we have something, an encounter in the woods, a little bit different, and we're just going to call this guy C, to kind of keep his name anonymous, and I'm just going to let him kind of introduce himself and tell where he's from and things like that, and then we'll get into a story. If you would see, man, to introduce yourself, tell maybe whatever you can about yourself, and then where you're from, where the encounter happened, things like that.
All right. I am from mid-Michigan, Lansing area, about 35 miles out of town. I usually do a lot of farm work, and this is one of those times. You want me to just go ahead and start the story, or?
Yeah, you go into it.
All right. This was about 5 years ago. I was with my friend, I'll call him S, and a couple other guys. We were out about 3 a.m., and we just decided to go out and walk around the property and just see what's going on. And so we were with his dog. Her name was Daisy. It was a German short-haired pointer, and this dog was just an absolute monster. She wouldn't back down from anything. She'd fight off coyotes and whatever came, even wild pigs. Sometimes, when she's up north with us. So we were out, and we was the dog, and the dog started acting really funny. So, she started acting really scared, and we'd never seen her do this before because she's usually like a guard dog. And we started going to the barn, and then we got into the barn and went up on the second level, and there's two doors that are wide open on each side, and the dog just starts crying and whimpering, and then she just takes off, just completely just runs away. And we're just sitting there what is going on? And then we start hearing some noises, scratching and different weird little mumbles, really soft, really kind of high pitched too. We started looking around between ourselves and just standing there kind of dead still, and the moon was really bright that night. And so I looked to my right towards the barn door, and I see this creature walking up. It was on all fours, just pale white skin, black veins, white eyes, and I was just frozen with fear, just staring at it. And my friend S, he saw it too, and we were just standing there, and then it just backed out. And we start hearing more scratching along the walls of the barn, and then we see some more movement coming across the other side of the barn. And I was armed with a AR-15, and I was getting ready, just because I didn't know what this thing was. It really just scared me. So I got ready, and I see a smaller one, about a quarter of the size of the previous one, which is about the size like a German Shepherd. And I see it pop its head up, and I shoot it right in the head. That thing knocks back, and then I just start hearing it flail around in the dirt And this is... Whew. Sorry, I have to take a breather there for a second, but then we see another one.
Take your time, bro.
Okay.
It's all right.
Then a third one comes in that was about the same size as the other one, but it was kind of limping. It really just had the look of hatred on its face when it looked at me. It looked like it was just pissed off I shot the other one. And so then they started to go climbing. They tried to climb up the side of the barn, and we hear them just start to go and like up the sides, and we hear them, and there's chattering towards each other, just like weird little mumbles that are high pitch. And they started getting up on the roof, and then we see them peeking in through this really upper high window that has a ladder on it. And I aimed for another shot, and then they backed out, so I couldn't see them anymore. So at that point, we knew they were on the roof. So we ran into one of the storage rooms in the barn, and it had big old wooden doors, really old barn, but it started clawing at the door on the inside, not on the inside, but trying to get inside. So we're literally just standing there, just in total fear, because we've all seen it, all the guys there. And then it just stopped. And we were sitting there for probably 20 minutes, just ready to fight, because we didn't know what it was. Like, my friend grabbed a pickaxe, and another friend grabbed an old axe off the wall. And we were just standing there, just waiting, just seeing what came. We waited there for probably 2 hours before we heard the dog come back. And then we were like, oh, well, let's try to get her inside. So she just comes inside, and she's acting all happy and everything. And by that time, we just ran to the house until we literally collapsed. So, yeah.
Okay, so now when you said this thing is on all fours, did it have like backwards looking joints, things like that? Kind of weird.
Yeah, the joints were really prevalent on the back legs. And it kind of looked like the belly was hanging down kind of low.
Okay. What about the face? Did it look like a humanish kind of face, or what was up with that?
It's kind of more round and small with really big eyes.
Yeah. The typical rake, basically the rake that you see on, YouTube, kind of. Is that what you...
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's what I think it is.
Could you see if it had hands and feet, or did it
have... It did have little hands and little feet. But the feet were more hand-like. I didn't really see if it had any like nails or claws or anything, but the hands were kind of like capuchin monkey hands, just about that size on this front. And the back, I didn't see the back too well, so.
Right. Now the one that you shot, did they take that? Did they take that with them, or what went on with that?
Yeah, we went back the next morning to see. We were just fully armed and everything. I had my AR, my friend had a 12 gauge, and then the other guys had a couple high-powered pistols. And when we went back, we saw that there was dried black blood on the ground and some little footprints.
Huh.
Yeah.
You didn't think to get any of the sample or anything like that?
No, I had a flip phone at the time.
What year was this?
That was probably 6 years ago.
6 years ago. Huh. So when you shot it, this thing bled then, right?
It did bleed.
Okay. And do you believe you killed it?
I think so. I mean, I shot it right in the face by where I aimed, but
Yeah, that might be a kill shot.
yeah.
A face shot's not a good shot at all. It's not good to get hit there.
Yeah.
You know. Wow.
Yeah,
So this sounds like a breeding pair then. I've never heard of that. Wow. I mean, I've heard of people seeing these things, but it's usually they see one. You know, but to see two and then a little one, that sounds to me like a breeding pair. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I was just really surprised that there was like that many, you know, like,
Yeah.
and then the little one too. Like now thinking about it, like it's like that's really surprising, you know.
Yeah, yeah, and it goes to show you right there when sometimes we talk about the angelic beings, you know, intermixing with, you know, all different flesh on Earth, and some of them escaped the flood. You know, some people say, well, they're not alive no more because they got killed by the flood. But the Bible talks about them being on the earth after that, and after the flood stories, there are still giants in the land, you know, and you know the Bible talks about those who dug themselves in, things like that. But it goes to show you right there where when Apostle Paul talked about these different types of even supernatural type creatures having bodies. Some people don't realize that angelic beings have bodies. Fallen angelic beings have bodies. The only thing that doesn't have bodies are demons. But those are Nephilim that have been killed or died that come out of their body, and they're not going to ever get another body because they're not subject to the resurrection. So they're just without a body. You know what I'm saying? Angelic beings have a body. They'll always have a body. You know, they might get thrown in the lake of fire because that's what it was created for, was the fallen angels. But it sounds to me like there's creatures that are coming out of the earth and coming up onto the surface, and because that's got to be some type of evil entity, man. That's just not normal.
I know it was really weird because it's humanoid, but it definitely was not human. But yeah, so
and you said it had real white skin and black looking veins. Is that what you said?
Yeah, it was like it was very white skin, looked kind of like slimy almost, really shiny. That's why I want to say slimy, but and then it had black veins, like you could really just see them all over the skin, like in the moonlight. So
right, and I've known people that have encountered like reptilian fallen beings, you know, and they said that the skin color was like a certain color, you know, whether it be red or whatever. But when they could see like black looking veins kind of morphing kind of under the skin, you know what I'm saying? So that to me that's an evil something or another. And when did you get like a feeling whenever you came up into the barn before you heard anything?
Well, we knew something was going on because his dog started acting really weird, and I felt really uneasy at that point. But I didn't really think too much of it. I thought I was just getting creeped out because it was dark outside, you know. But as soon as I saw it, then I realized that's what's going on. So.
Wow. And when this thing, so you were inside the barn, and these things approached the door of the barn.
And then they looked right at us.
Right. And then that's when you shot the little one. And
Go
ahead.
So the big one, the first one that I saw that came in, it backed out, and then I saw the little one on the other side of the barn peek his head up, and so then I just put a bullet in it, and then
Yeah. And so did these things scale the barn real easy?
I think so, yeah, because it took like probably 10 seconds for them to climb up. It's like a 2-story barn.
Wow. Mm-mm. Man, that's some creepy stuff.
Yeah.
Did you think to maybe try to shoot the other ones too? I mean, you shot the little one.
Yeah, but when they crawled up to the sides, they looked in the window, like, that was, like, really high up window. And so then, as soon as I lined up for a shot, they both ducked behind the walls. And I was like, couldn't get a clear shot, so.
Golly. Did they ever show any teeth or anything?
No, not really. It was just kind of, like, just a blank stare.
Man. Huh. Do you think these things could stand up?
I don't know, because I only saw them on all fours, except for the little one, who I don't know if it grabbed onto something to peer up, or if it just stood up on its own.
Yeah.
But I only got to see the head and shoulders. No, I couldn't see its hands or anything like that of the little one.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I've heard stories about these. Sometimes they'll be like on the outside of the house looking in, and someone will kind of be, working outside or something and notice it watching a family member through the window or something like that.
Yeah, I haven't
creepy.
seen these creatures since.
Yeah, I mean,
So.
they probably think, man, I don't know about, this guy shoot us,
Mm-hmm.
Might not live too long, keep messing around over here. What do you think they were doing, just passing through, or what do you think was going on there?
Well, I want to say maybe they lived there, because at that barn, I think maybe they did, but because under the barn, there was a bunch of cracked foundation, and there was a huge tunnel that led underneath that you could look, like, probably, I don't know how deep into, but, like, it was deep. So maybe they lived there, or maybe they were just passing through. I don't know.
Wow, a tunnel.
Because no one really went to that barn in a long time, so.
I mean, a tunnel, did it look like something dug it out, or what was the deal with that?
It was like kind of a mix between, like, it was like there's vegetation under there, but you could still see a lot of dirt. So maybe they lived there for a while and started raising the little thing, and like, vegetation started growing, or maybe not. I don't know.
Huh. Yeah. I mean, that would be probably a good place to be hiding if you're something like that.
Probably.
Yeah. Huh. I thought you were going to say maybe they lived in the loft or something like that of the barn.
Oh, that'd be interesting, but no, I think they lived underneath. Anything.
Right. Man, I wonder how many of those kind of things like that are out there. That's I mean, it's not real common to get reports of those, but you get them, and it's just hard to believe all the kinds of stuff that's out there. That's crazy.
Yeah, I've heard other stories of, listening to stories, and they all have very similar reports of how they look. So that's what I think it is, like the Rake or Dover Demon. I've heard it called. So.
Yeah, I mean, the Dover Demon I thought maybe was a little bit different. From what you're explaining, I've heard it called the Rake, but I really don't know what the Dover Demon is really supposed to look like.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Michigan has got some crazy stuff, man. Michigan dog, man. You got Bigfoot stuff. You got these things running around. Have you ever heard of anybody else around that area reporting anything strange?
I've actually seen Sasquatch peek in my house before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was standing 8 feet tall, out. So, yeah, it was looking in the window. I shined a light on it, and I could see its whole figure and its eyes and everything.
I mean, what were you doing? Just chilling in your room, or?
I went downstairs because I have a 2-story house, so I went downstairs to go get some like snack, It was at 2 something a.m. And so I just had a flashlight, and I just peeked around the corner with a flashlight, and I saw it looking in, and I was like, oh no. So I just ran upstairs real quick. And then we've also had one, we forgot to put out trash one night, and then we started getting a lot of banging on my garage door, like really loud too. So.
Huh. So they were going through your trash and they were upset, huh?
Yeah, probably, because we didn't put it out, so.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, you got Squatch stuff going on and everything.
Yeah.
You know, we kind of know, some about the Squatch and what they might eat and things like that, but it kind of makes you wonder what the Rake might eat. Well,
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, I don't know who would know something like that, but I don't know if anybody has seen them hunting or anything like that, but maybe they eat insects.
Maybe they were trying to hunt us.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like to me they were coming after you,
Like,
coming up on
they're 2.
Yeah.
I mean, trying to teach their baby how to hunt, maybe.
Right. They didn't, you having a gun kind of changed that scenario a little bit, for sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
That put it down real quick. I mean, it still had some spasms and stuff when it dropped, because I shot it and I heard dust kicking up, so I heard the dirt getting pushed around, and I was like, well, it's dying, so.
Did you ever at any point pray?
No, I did not. I did not think about it at that time.
You were just thinking,
I was just too scared.
Hold your weapon and defend your ground, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was kind of curious to, cause I think if you were to pray and rebuke it, I believe it would probably leave.
It probably would.
Yeah.
But I have been praying a lot, like, since then, for protection against stuff like that.
Right.
And I haven't really seen too much other than Sasquatch, and so, I don't know.
Right. Well, that's a good thing, man. The Lord ain't gonna let nothing take you out if you're praying and asking for protection.
Mm-hmm.
You might see something once in a while, But
yeah. Nothing's
gonna take you out. Well, man, I'll tell you what, that's a very interesting story, brother, for real. Man, I had never heard anybody shooting one of those things. Kind of, I believe that's the first that I've ever heard of. So, you might be the only one so far on that will be, on YouTube with the shooting a rake. But I appreciate you sharing, man. If you come across any more, encounters, any more Squatch stuff, or any more Rake or whatever, holler back.
Oh, yeah, well, thanks for having me on.
Well, you're welcome, man. I appreciate it. Just hold on the line just for a second. And everybody out there in YouTube land, I appreciate you listening. I thought that was pretty fascinating. Never heard of a story quite like that one before. But, yeah. I hope you enjoyed it, and I guess God bless you, and we'll see you on the next video.